And go get some of this Texas bourbon. It's pretty good. All right.
I'm gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna burn through the night. Why you're so salty? I'll still take a bite.
Okay, we can take my Lambo.
All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. 74% yellow dent corn, 14% soft red winter wheat, 12% malted barley. Corn source, Sawyer Farms, Hill County, Texas. Same for the wheat, malt source, Rauer Malting Company. A proprietary Texas wild yeast strain. Uh-oh, little proprietary Texas yeast up in here. It looks like, I love the details that these guys went into to explain this whiskey to me. So, the fermentation conditions. 3 days at 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 5 days at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, that's a long, long fermentation. And what that can mean is that a lot of character can be built and that yeast can thrive. And so we may actually be tasting more characteristics out of this, like the yeast. We might taste more like the yeast properties than we would in, say, something that was fermented for just 3 days, for just 5 days. So, and the fact that they kind of like went low and slow, to me, that probably means you're probably going to have a lot more beer characteristics there. Because at the end of the day, in its initial setting, whiskey is just distilled beer. Still type, small guy, 500-gallon copper pot column hybrid from Vendome. Basically, they made their cuts with humans. 53-gallon American White Oak, char level 3. Single-story brick building, aged in there for 3 years, and then a rick house for 1 year. And so this right here, this is 4-year-old Texas straight bourbon whiskey. And we're always asking the question, is there ever going to be a state that can rival Kentucky when it comes to bourbon? I have long said that Texas has a very good shot from the simple perspective that they have a lot of business interest in them. In addition, a lot of good whiskey makers there. A lot of people who have taken the time to go to Scotland and study, as well as working with some of the greatest consultants who are in the business. So this is barrel proof. This is 127.4 proof, 4 years old. And you know what? I just love this bottle. It's got that grip there. I've already poured a little bit, but it's got that grip there where I can just pour like that. And I bet you this is probably a bartender favorite style of bottle, because you just grab right there and just grip it. Take a look. See there? Just a good, strong, easy grip. Now, I take a look at that color. Swirled around a little bit. Man, that is some nice color. Beautiful color. So we get up in there. Look at that. That is nice. Really dark for a 4-year-old. Now take a look at this. This is interesting. You go there and you come back, and there's not, that leg is just kind of like staying there at the top. It's not really dripping down a lot. Now that's interesting. Now it's not anything I can really judge by. It's just something to notice. And them legs are just kind of sticking around there at the top. Really, really nice nose. Now this is... This actually reminds me of like walking into a rick house and you smell that all that wood, you smell that whiskey in the air. Oh man, that is a nice smell. Just a little bit of like caramel, some vanilla, but let me tell you, the biggest note in that nose is cinnamon. I smell so much cinnamon in this, which is ironic because I very rarely get cinnamon out of the wheated bourbons. And this indeed is a wheated bourbon out of Texas. Now for the taste. This is the fun part. Oh man. That cinnamon just gets right there on that palate and walks itself back. And then coming down just layers upon layers of like a craft beer. I mentioned from the top that I thought this might taste like a beer because of the long fermentation process. Well, my thought is absolutely spot on. It tastes like a really good Pilsner. It's not hoppy or anything like that. It's just a nice, elegant, kind of like malty beer, like going down that jawline. After that, we've got that cinnamon note I talked about. We've got the caramel. And it's just kind of going back and forth. It's still on the palate. So for a young bourbon, this is showing very nicely. And this is one that I think could compete. This could compete against Kentucky bourbon in a competition. So Kentucky, watch out. Looks like Texas bourbon is coming to the show and they're ready to dance. This is really good. Yeah. But I'll tell you, if you're used to like the styles that are real caramel bombs, this is not going to be for you. This has got layers upon layers of different flavors. I want to say the first note that I get that is most prominent, cinnamon. After that, you're going to have like a kind of a craft beer Pilsner style. Then slight hints of caramel and vanilla and a little bit of cardamom. So if you're familiar with the cardamom flavor, it's just got a hint of that in here. And on the finish, you know what? It finishes pretty well, about a medium, about a 15-second finish, and it just kind of sticks there with that nice cinnamon note. So congratulations to you guys for making a really nice show of a Texas straight bourbon. And I got to tell you, this is something to be looking out for. Hey, make sure you're looking out for more of these videos. I'm going to have more tastings on the way. This was an Open the Box Monday. Wednesdays, I've got history. Thursdays, I've got my podcast dropping where I'm tasting whiskey with musicians. On Friday, I've got live tastings. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button and get a sticker. I don't care where you put the sticker, but if you hit the subscribe button, I'm going to send you a sticker. Hit up my assistant at fredminnick.com, and we're going to get your address and send you a sticker. Woo! Thanks for joining, everybody. Have a great week, and go get some of this Texas bourbon. It's pretty good.